What is light without dark?
Oh, sorry about that, Jeff. We are
Hey,
live. I was meant to put
no
me first.
problem.
Yeah, Jeff just jumped on. I was playing Castle Umbra
Oh
from
yeah, yeah, yeah.
good stuff. Someone not new, but new to me. JD played it a while back. Yes, it
Cool.
features Antimo from Discord, Hackabits, a million bands as we know.
Oh
But
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, but it's very nice. Digipack fold out. Yeah, I heard it when JD played it on one of his shows. Like, this is killer. It's pretty much, like, I guess his Swedish death metal band, but it's Lovecraftian based, evil death Swedish death metal is really good stuff.
Yeah,
So
it sounds like those tangled up riffs. That's good
yes,
stuff.
yeah, very good. He always puts out quality stuff. So if you haven't heard that, check that out. And I believe I got mine from Rotter, not Rotten, but Rotter Records
Rotter
uh,
records.
here in the
Okay.
states. A lot cheaper than China. Get it, through the mail. If you
Very
dug
cool.
it, good stuff. It's all high quality Swedish inspired death metal from Mexico. So how are you doing, dude?
I'm good. How are you? Hey to everybody who's not at Hell's Heroes.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the party for the Hell's Heroes left out,
that's
including
okay.
us. Yeah,
I
we
heard
got.
that.
Go
Go
ahead.
on.
No, go ahead.
I heard that Absu did a really good job this afternoon.
I saw
Um,
some clips. Looks good. Did
yep.
you see? Adriana was killing it on the vocals.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
She was sticking it exactly. I didn't even know she was a singer.
you didn't? Yeah,
No.
yeah. She I forgot what the name of her band was. But it was like like the Gathering and stuff like that. Like
Oh.
where she actually she sang. She's not like rah, 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 rah. She was like she can
Yeah.
sing. Yeah, she got some real talent there.
I
Not that
totally missed
yeah
out on that.
yeah. No, it came out of left field. I was like, what? Like wow, okay. But good for her, man.
Yeah, very cool. I think it's great that they went all out on that. So,
Yeah, well, I remember I thought it was going to be the original person who sung on the album. I guess maybe that fell through. So, but hey,
hmm
man, Adriana stepped up to the plate and nailed it for him. So that's really cool. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
good shit, man. Yeah, so she killed it. Yeah, the Absu performance looks good. I saw a little sadistic intent, always killing it as usual too.
hmm
So yeah, if you're there, fuck you.
Yeah. Hope you have fun.
Yeah, I'm just being a dick because I
We
really
have
want to see
some
it. But I
really
know I'll see.
hairy dude rubbing up against you at some point. Get ready for that.
Yeah, and Daisy Dukes probably.
Yes, yes.
I don't get all that.
I'm telling you, I posted this up on my Facebook yesterday. I swear that all those dudes saw that one picture of Lemmy in the
I
vest
saw
and the
that.
Daisy
Yeah.
Dukes, and they just based their whole personality on that photo. Oh well, that's what I want to be. It's like, yeah, well, you're not fucking Lemmy, you know?
Only Lemmy gets to dress like that.
Yeah, Lemmy can do whatever he wants, and
He's
also,
earned it. You're not fucking
yeah,
Lemmy. Get out of
when
here.
you live on speed, I mean, everything is a good idea, and then you can own it. You know?
You
I,
know.
I can't
Y-
believe how many of those old schoolers I've talked to. Like, when I used to have my column for the Examiner, I interviewed a whole bunch of people, like Paul Speckman, the guys from Doctor No, all these classic '80s bands that were really influential. And every last one of them said, "Oh yeah, we were doing so much cocaine, and everything seemed like a good idea." You know?
Yeah. Well, you're altered, so everything fucking rules. Yeah, that's
Yes,
great.
but I mean, no advocacy of drugs. Everybody knows I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I can't deny that, like at the beginning of when people embark on that stuff, it can propel some incredible ideas, and then the retraction on it. That's why everybody goes, "What happened to that guy?" It's, well, the drugs caught
Mm.
him, and then all of his good ideas went with it, and now it's
It's a tough balance.
yes,
It's a
yeah.
tough. Most people can't balance it after a while.
That's why you kill yourself when you're 33. That's why
Hmm.
you're supposed to make good on that.
Yeah, well, he did not make good on that. I didn't think he was in the first place. I think that was just a bunch of hype.
Probably, but we're talking about Glenn Benton, kids.
Yeah.
He proclaimed he was going to kill himself when he was 33, back when he was like 27, 26, something like that. And I really believed at the time that if he had gone ahead and done it, I mean, he would have been like Euronymous. You know what I mean? Just perfectly immortal forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would have actually done nothing but like Think about if DSI did the first 3 albums and then Glenn had killed himself. Come on, that would have been
It would have been legendary. They would be,
perfection.
yeah. And then they'd be like, yeah, he kept to his word. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, easy for us to say, because we didn't make the promise of killing her. I mean, I would never do that. He sold out. Yeah, he didn't want to die. What a pussy. Yeah, okay.
I wanted to draw a comic strip where it just showed Glenn, like you could easily find out what his birthday was, but it shows just a drawing of a calendar in the foreground, and it's got the circled date of his birthday, and it says "kill self," and he's like standing in the background, kind of looking at it nervously, like
I hope no one took that serious.
Yeah. Ethereal Travel is the name of Adriana's project. Okay, cool. Please support that. I totally missed that. I've known her for a long time, and I don't know why I didn't.
She never made a big deal out of it. I guess.
I guess not. I never saw her promote anything from it. I mean, but anyway, that's really cool. Hey guys, so I'm here on this episode to talk about new stuff.
New stuffs.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking on my show, Metal Enema. If you want to check that out, that's just an audio podcast, metalenema.com. I've been doing that since 1995. When it was on FM radio.
Yep.
You came up once, and didn't you come up a couple of times? I know.
I think twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was
broke a bunch of records, got you in trouble.
Oh,
we didn't know.
Yeah. We trashed the studio. It was very, very Animal House, and we totally trashed the radio station. And I got yelled at by a bunch of people, and then I didn't do anything about it, and then nothing happened to me. So
that's the best way to do it. Okay, whatever. It'll blow over. Sometimes it's the best fucking thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I hear you guys got a new Imprecation. Got a new record already pressed and getting ready to come out soon. What's going on with this?
It's out now.
Is it already out?
Yeah, it's out as of Monday. It was out, and I'll give you guys the backstory on that. The final release featuring Ruben Elizondo, founding member of the band, and the last of his material, posthumous. I mean, unfortunately, but we originally were going to do that as an EP about 2 years ago, maybe almost 3 years ago now. And then we just kind of put it on hold because we really didn't know what we were going to do as a band moving forward. Started playing live shows again. It started to come together, and we started feeling good about it. And then after we went to Germany to play the Never Surrender Fest in Berlin, I finally made contact with famous producer Harris Johns, who I'd been in I'd known for years, but we never met in person. And he came out to meet us in Berlin, and we hung out throughout the weekend, and he was just awesome. I mean, if you don't know who Harris Johns is, he produced Dawn of Possession, Killing Impulse, not Killing Impulse, Killing Technology, Consuming Impulse. Pleasure to Kill, Persecution Mania, Agent Orange, and if I have to tell you which bands those are, you should probably just log off right now.
The Tragic Serenades EP.
Tragic Serenades EP. He was the sound of Noise Records' Coroner. He did Coroner. Harris is just a wizard, and I said at the end of our time together, I said, "Hey, would you produce the new Imprecation?" He said, "Sure." So, that Zero Absolute is good too. It's a very long song, so I don't think we're going to play it on here tonight, but that's a French band worth checking out. But anyway, Harris agreed to do the mixing and mastering, and so we took all the files that we captured in Houston with Ruben before he passed, and then those were the tracks from the EP. Then we had 2 tracks that were demoed but not completed that Ruben had co-written, and then Matt Hefner, our current drummer, agreed to play on those and try to interpret them the way Ruben would have done it based on those recordings. The thing that was amazing about it is that so we could have like a consistency of sound, so it wouldn't just sound like a hodgepodge or a compilation. Harris really worked hard to re-EQ everything, just so, even though they were from different sessions, and he also resampled all of Ruben's snare and kick sounds and matted them over Matt's drums, so it sounds like Ruben's kit,
Wow.
which is
Okay.
insane. I can't believe how well that worked. So you're effectively, even though on two of the songs Matt is playing, you're effectively hearing Ruben's sound, which is
Gotcha.
really magical. I mean, it's as close as we could get, and we really wanted to do him tribute. So you've got those four songs, then you got a remixed version, like an alternate version of Devil's Furnace, which was featured on Nominate Diaboli. But it's the original arrangement that we had scrapped. So different solos, different vocals, different lyrics. That's very cool. And of course, remixed and reimagined by Harris John, so it's heavier than ever. And
Badass.
I waited
to not listen to this, so it'll be the first time I hear it too.
Excellent.
When we play it.
You're wearing sleeves. All right, that's screwing everybody up.
Yeah, they don't like when I wear sleeves. The Judas Iscariot shirt, it is to embrace what the corpse bleeding.
The corpse is bleeding. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
So then we rounded it out with an alternate mix. We took the original source files from a song that was released on Dark Descent of the Blaspherian Imprecation Split from I think 2010.
Oh yeah.
Long out of print, and we did a new kind of a reimagined version of that. It's the original track, but Harris remixed and remastered everything.
Fuck.
Source. And then made it sound just like all the other material. So you've got 5 different sources, but then it's one sound field, one concept, due to his wizardry. So we're really, really happy with it. People have said it's the heaviest thing we've ever done, and I kind of tend to agree.
Well, I mean, Harris, he knows how to make shit sound heavy as hell, dude. Yeah.
And dark, really atmospheric.
Yeah. Dawn of Possession, to me, it's still the most atmospheric immolation record. Yeah. In my book.
That one has a real black magic about it. It to me, kind of like Altars of Madness. It almost hedges on black metal because of the atmosphere.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Even though it's like strictly a death metal album.
It's death metal, but it could. But the way the atmosphere of the album is, it could be, black metal, or black metal fans should be able to get into it.
Yes. And Aaron is right. That's the icing on the cake. We got to go out to Helios Press in Brady, Texas, and press our own albums, which was just amazing. Yosuke, Nuclear War Now fame, he founded Helios Press, and it's an incredible operation. I mean, it's a pro shop, obviously.
Sure.
All the apparatus, all the coolant tanks, and all the presses, and all the molds, and all the. You remember the Play-Doh Fun Factory?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're getting the pucks for the actual pressing of the vinyl, it comes out of the Play-Doh Fun Factory, and you stick it on there. And,
just let it press.
Yeah. So we got to press the copy. I can hold up my copy and say, I pressed this copy myself, with the sleeve and everything. It's incredible.
That is so cool. I mean, that's almost like when Kiss pressed their when Kiss did their own Marvel comics with their own blood. They put it in the ink.
Yep. Yeah, which I actually thought that was one of the cooler things they ever did.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was like, how awesome is that? But
yes.
I mean, to be there of the pressing, I mean, that's really from A to Z.
It really is. And I mean, I was really appreciating what a coup Yosuke had pulled by suddenly having, literally, like Karl Marx said famously, seize the means of production. That's exactly what he did. And now he can basically press on demand. I mean, he wouldn't, you can't just do that because you still have to print the booklets and everything in advance. But I mean, he's really going to have full control of the product. He can also now be an anchor point for other metal labels that need to produce vinyl in the U.S. I mean, it's a big deal. It's actually, I knew it was a big deal, but when I went there and saw what was actually going on and how automatic it was, here you go, here's the puck, put it in the thing, boom, okay, there's your record, put it in the sleeve, take it home with you. I was like, holy shit. I didn't really know what was involved. It's you literally just, I mean, you put it on a little spindle and it cools off for a couple of minutes. That's it.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, as much vinyl as Nuclear War Now production does. I mean, this is a great idea for him.
Yeah,
Just
it was
right off the bat. I mean, up front, big investment, big picture. It's going to save him thousands. Yep.
He'll see his return because, among other things, he won't have shipping costs anymore. He won't have as much waste. Although it's hilarious because they're doing heavy quality control, him and his assistant, and it was so surreal because we walked into the warehouse and there was just like Vaughn LPs just all over the warehouse floor, just laying out there because they were like there was like a flaw in the die, and so none of them were good. So they're just like flung around. I was like, oh, that's so weird.
Oh, here's a dumb question. Can they break down that again and use that again, or once you press it's done?
I think, for the most part, yes, they can recycle it and melt it down again. And
that's cool.
He has a shredder, and it's hilarious because it turns it into like a million little BBs. And then you pour it back in the Fun Factory machine, and then it goes out,
They're ready to use it. I mean, because like if you did that at another plant, you probably take the loss somehow. Yeah. But now he doesn't have to do that. It's all fucking in-house. All right, we'll just have to repress these again or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as ours sells out, he can just immediately fire up another run and get it going. It's so exciting.
Yeah, he doesn't wait for the plant to do a second pressing. If he sees he's selling out, he can just go and make some more. That's amazing. Good for him. I remember when I interviewed him when he was first getting that all together and all that. I was like, man, I hope this works out. I'm pretty sure it will, because he seems like Yusuke is a smart guy,
He taught himself how to. He had to go take a class too, but he basically taught himself how to use all that equipment. And I mean, it's like it's literally like a plant, where there's like ventilation and coolant hoses everywhere. And I mean, he has to. I mean, he has like an engineer on call, I guess, but I mean, he has to know how to fix a lot of that shit himself.
Yeah,
so it's incredible. Yeah. I mean, what he's done. So I mean, we're really glad to be a part of it. He's done.
J-Dog likes to call people go-getters. Well, that's a fucking go-getter, right?
Yeah, at the first order.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they're called Nuclear War Now, and I said basically having your own record plant for a metal label, that's like becoming a nuclear power. You suddenly have all the marbles, Well,
I think I even read that Matt from Dark Descent was going to use him to press something. He put an order through. I'm not sure.
That would only make sense. I mean, I don't know why anybody in the U.S. wouldn't use him at this point.
Yeah, you don't have to go overseas. You don't have to pay for all that shipping, especially if you're using overseas plants. Jeez, and fucking postage is right now.
Yeah.
Well, let's jam one of the jams, Jeff.
Okay, yeah.
I'll play the Imprecation song.
Yeah, please.
Is that cool?
That's fine. This is it. This is what I was raving about just a minute ago. This is the magic of Imprecation collaborating with Harris Johns. Rest in peace, Ruben. It's our tribute to him.
Let me get it set up here so we can share the screen. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Some new Imprecation from Jeff and the boy. There we go. Whoops, fix that. All right, there we go. That was fucking killer, dude. And it did sound like Ruben's drums, man. Unmute yourself, Jeff. Can't hear you.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus. That track was actually Ruben.
Was that his drum track?
Yeah, so that was his drum track.
Oh, no wonder it sounded.
Yeah, he did 2 songs, and we had those captured before he died. We had them all in the studio captured. So yeah, that was one of his 2.
Okay, maybe I heard you wrong at the beginning. Okay,
oh no, but that's the thing. He did 2, Matt did 2, and the thing is that you can't really tell them apart in the end because, again, like everything was resampled and it sounds effectively like all one thing, which is super cool. But yeah, that was actually Ruben you were hearing there.
Oh, well, damn, that is cool.
Yep.
Now, they were asking in the chat, and I'm sure you know, but yeah, audio for vinyl has to go through a different process than audio for CD and all that, or it'll come out too trebly.
Yes, it's like kind of a deeper, lower mix, and it's like a stereo mix only.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harris sent us 2 masters, one for CD and digital, and then one for vinyl. That's normal. I mean, I've done that.
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, because I had a release where they didn't master it for vinyl, and it's trebly as fuck.
Yeah.
Not in a cool way either. Like, oh man, you blew it. You blew it, brah.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing. It's like I like the vinyl format just sort of in principle, but I don't have a turntable. I tend to like my stuff. I'm a CD guy. I've always been. I like my stuff portable. And CDs are fun, you know.
We had this conversation, but we'll have it again. Yeah, I like CDs because you still get the nice layout, but like you said, it's so much easier to take it on the take. You know, you can just rip the files and put them on whatever or whatever case. Now, I stopped buying vinyl, but I will stop buy a picture disc if I like it.
Sure, just ornamental.
Yes. Yeah, because I wanted to show them tonight. It didn't show up. I ordered the new Satanic War Master and the Gorephobia picture disc that Hills put out. I ordered them last Friday. J-Dog, slacking. Nah, but they didn't show up yet. And I'm like, oh, man. I was hoping to have that for the show.
To answer the questions, Aaron, there's no 7-inch. It's all just compiled on the one release. So it's 2 songs with Ruben, 2 songs with Matt, a song from the 7-inch that was remixed and remastered, and then also, like I said, a different version of Devil's Furnace from Anamine Diaboli, and then a really cool thing at the end, this instrumental piece where it's just drums and like ambient sounds that Ruben did on his own, and that's how it gets sent off. You know, he gets
wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, and I think we had found that by accident. We didn't have that in the hopper waiting. I think it was discovered. So that's really
even better, like a message from beyond.
Absolutely.
That's so cool. Wow.
So the producer does have to make 2 separate masters, but no, they do not use their ear. It's scientific. Harris, I mean, like any good producer, Harris used they've got programs that measure.
Yeah. They'll
megahertz and range and all that.
They still do all their mastering the same, and then once they're done, they run it through the program that will do it for vinyl and one
Yeah.
for CD, digital or whatever.
Yeah, and they have to control that. I mean, that the ear part is listening to it and making sure that it matches what you're expecting.
Yes.
A good producer will always do that. You know, people get confused with mastering. I think I've probably talked about it before on here. Some people think mastering is loudening. That's not it. You don't just hit the normalize button or the, or turn the volume up or brick wall it. That's not actually mastering.
A good mastering producer doesn't do that. He'll actually go in there and get the right frequencies boosted and lower, and not just run it through the flat, like you said. Just blast it up and fucking brick wall it once it reaches a level, just
yeah. And I've gotten albums in the past where that was the thing. I was like, oh, this is remastered. Oh, I'll check it out, and then it just was the same fucking tracks. Yeah,
as loud as can be, but yeah, which I think Iron Maiden talked about this. Like, they didn't master one of their albums because it was taking away the impact of like each instrument that they wanted. Because when you do brick wall all that stuff, you're not letting something breathe. It's just all to its extreme.
Right.
And like, so sometimes you want this drum, to be a little louder, or you want this guitar thing to come in and be a little louder. If you just, it's not going to happen. Yeah, no dynamics. That's a good way to say it. Spirit.
Yes. Yeah, the brick walling was a big plague, and now there's been a big move away from that. All the producers I know really try hard to avoid brick walling. Because the whole idea is that with a stereo system, see, that's part of the problem. Nobody has big, powerful stereos anymore.
No, they don't.
What's supposed to happen is you have this thing called a volume knob, and if it's not loud enough, you turn it up, and it gets bigger and louder. And if it's mastered correctly, it won't get harsher. It just gets bigger and warmer and thicker. And it won't, I can always tell when a mastering job is really good is when you turn it up, it doesn't start really hurting your ears.
Yeah.
And you just get the hearing damage, but not the pain,
And it doesn't start cracking in your speakers and all that. It doesn't get... I mean, I kind of missed that, like in the 70s and the 80s and like up to the mid 90s, we had all the audiophiles. Remember the big stereos with their own equalizers and the big fucking speakers and all that?
Yes.
And like, man, it had to sound good.
Yeah.
To get you to buy a stereo and all that. High dynamic stereos and all that.
Yeah.
Built good.
Also, I mean, albums used to cost like $50,000 and up to make, They were talking 70s money, so that was a lot.
Well, they sold more too, so it made sense. Hey, but now it doesn't happen as much.
No. And the thing that kills me too, just on that topic, is Harris Johns, among others, he's still out there producing and mixing and mastering and doing all these things. He's still active. I mean, he's 73 years old, but he's still out there doing it. Wow. Oh my God, that guy's a road dog too. He'll go out with like Tankard or Sodom or whatever for like 2-3 weeks on the road, and like he can totally take it just being on the bus and doing that whole routine. It's incredible.
Well, he's like their sound man?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's gonna do the new Sodom album that they're working on with Blackfire back in the band and everything. So
that's gonna be cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get back some of the old passion.
Yes. But just to that point, it's amazing to me that someone like him is out there and like people aren't just flocking to use him. I mean, he's got plenty of work, but I mean, I'm just amazed that more people haven't done his work.
Well,
this is
could be, younger generation doesn't really even know.
I think people know a reputation of a guy like that, and they just think he's out of reach. I mean, that's not true. He's a working producer. I mean, you got to pay him, obviously, but he's out there. If he wants to work with you, do it. I mean, that's true of any producer I've worked with. As a side note, and I think I might have mentioned this before, but Harris also produced Erica's band, Morgan Grau, back in 2012, I think it was. That came out great, too. That's my wife, Erica Morgan Grau, and then, of course, Nick Norris, who's now in Trenchant and Imprecation, along
Correct.
with Jake Holmes of Morbosadad and a kabillion other bands from the Texas scene.
Wait, Jake's in Trenchant now?
No, Jake was in Jake was in Morgan.
Oh, Morgan Grau.
Right. Sorry.
Sorry. No, it's all good. I was like, wow, he's another damn band.
Yeah. So
speaking of Jake Holmes, he'll be on the show next week. We're gonna bring him on. and have a little Texas-based conversation with Jake. So be on the lookout for that.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it will be a good show.
Yes.
Yes. Rick Rubin. Now that's a different story. Come on.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm sure. Well, maybe not that much now because there's just not that much money. But I mean, tens and tens of thousands of dollars. And apparently he doesn't even engineer. He will just listen to what the engineer has done and go, yes.
Doesn't he just gets sent the files now and he just do this, do that.
Yeah, Kerry King was very dissatisfied when they went back and did Christ Illusion because they said it's basically us and the engineer. Rick.
Kind of just giving the thumbs up or thumbs down on mixes, probably. Yeah.
Well, guys I don't know if anybody cares about any of this, but I just happen to know Rick Rubin, he doesn't actually have any engineering ability. He's got a good ear. He used to at least know what sounded good and was able to make executive calls and also knew how to get good. He was kind of like a director in that he was good at getting performances out of bands and knowing what they should sound like and that sort of thing. So that was his strength. But yeah, these days he's pretty outgunned by just all the powerhouse engineer producers out there who are know how to do everything. So
yeah, well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, do you want just me go down straight this playlist of
sure,
play?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, and so again, if you're just tuning in, the topic is new stuff, things that you should be checking out if you haven't heard about it already, things that have come out only in the last couple of months. There's just a boatload of releases every fucking month, and
dude, it gets expensive trying to keep up, man. I'm like, god damn.
I mean, we get promos for the podcast, for Metal Enema, and even then I can't keep up. I'm not paying for any of it. I can't keep up with all of it. It's just stop.
I like to, if I play it, I like to have a physical copy to show of something, just to show that, hey, I actually buy it and support it. But goddamn,
yeah,
like you said, there's a lot of good stuff that comes out, and it's hard to, you just can't honestly, afford everything that comes through the door, at least not right off the bat. So let's play. All right, I'll go down the list. So Old Wands will be next.
Old Wainds.
Wainds. I call them Old Wands since
that's all right.
I got the Old Wainds from Russia.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Let me get it.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys about this after we play it. So just check it out.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Gotta do some trickery here real quick. Some moving around of stuff, but we'll get it queued up. All right, let me just scroll this back a little.
Yeah, Johnny knows the promos get insane. It's like, play your band. Your band sucks. I'm not gonna play it.
I know. Okay, if you're gonna send us something, make sure you don't suck. That's a thing. All right, here we go. We'll be ready now. All right, there we go.
Yeah. I've been a big fan of old Wainds since they came out with their demos back in the, I guess, 2001. Really, I mean, if you like really early Immortal, I think they're the best analog to that I can think of.
I
at
can
this
see
point.
that. Yeah, yeah.
You know, really Necro. I love the vocals. I love how the vocals are just like overmodulated and just crushed. Really cool band. That's out on Darkness Shall Rise Records. That's an amazing label. They're the ones putting out that really cool Marduk box set that we were looking at the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a copy of that one. It's just like I know it's gonna be pricey, but damn, it looks nice. It looks really nice.
Yeah,
Because
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say because they put out the Deicide box set, and that was amazing.
That's what I was going to mention. If you saw me do the unboxing of the Deicide box set with that amazing book and all the posters and all that stuff,
They go all out. Yeah, it's really nice.
They do, and it's I think it's all the way from Fuck Me Jesus all the way up to like Nightwing or whatever the last thing that Legion was on. It was like the entire arc, basically pre-Mortuus.
Yeah, like all 90s stuff, right? Like everything that came out in the 90s. So, classic era. Marty. Yeah.
And when you look at that, you realize how much stuff Marduk put out in the 90s. They put out a release a year. They were really, really prolific. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that about the Imprecation. Thanks
Joe is our one of our Australian maniacs. He's
a
cool dude.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that old Wainds.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it sounds like they're getting better. Each album too. Because remember when it came out, it was pretty raw back in the day. Like this, like Necro as fuck.
Yes.
And it's still Necro. I'm not saying it's sold out or something stupid like that. I'm just saying they are getting better at their craft too. It's like that was really good shit. Really good black metal.
They also smoothed out in the middle period where it wasn't as Necro anymore. I mean, it still sounded good, but it just sounded more like everything else. And like in the last couple of things, they've gone back to sort of their classic.
It's working great.
Yeah, little Wainds.
These guys, Little Wayne.
John Wayne's Gacy. Yeah, but yeah. Really, really cool stuff. And they're from Murmansk, Russia, the most, like, the furthest northern point of human civilization. So, yeah, apparently, I think I read a story about them, like, they were practicing in their rehearsal space, and they had to, actually, break the ice off of their guitar cables. So,
fucking unreal, dude.
Yeah. And
that old Russian black metal scene, remember? I'm just reading about what they went through and all that. Pretty fucking brutal shit. Yeah. Wow.
The crazier scene is the Polish scene. Oh my fucking God. People have no idea what was going on over there. There was church burnings there. There was priest murder.
It was nuts.
There was a lot of insane shit that happened in that scene. I want them to put out a book on that, because if you read Bardo Mythology, that webzine and Frenzy,
I get them both. I mean, well,
I got to get the print versions because I want to read that entire Polish black metal article. I think he interviewed Paimon from Thunderbolt.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have it?
No, I got to.
Oh, you got to get that, dude. You're gonna be like this.
Yeah.
It's just really good. It's a good read. Yeah. Whenever Bardo comes out with a print issue, I try to snag it up right away. I'm like, it's always good shit in there.
Yeah, I've been lax. I got to get it. There's just like everything else. There's so much shit to order. I mean, all these cool shirts are being reeditioned through Osmos.
Dude, that's where I got this one, through Osmos.
Yep, Osmos has really been hitting it hard again with great reeditions of.
Are they are they licensed? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of Hervey being a bootlegger.
No, I mean, to my knowledge,
he's a lot of things, but never heard of him bootlegging anything. Yeah.
No, generally he gets permission. As far as I know.
Yeah.
But That's great. I mean, I spent a bunch of money on Osmos shirt reeditions. I got Impaled Nazarene and Sithagawa and a bunch of stuff like that. I was like, oh man.
I got this through Osmos. I got the Graveland Celtic Winter through Osmos. Sweet. Yeah. I was looking through their site, and I went through the bands, like where they have all the bands of the label, past and present. Mm-hmm. Certain band wasn't on there. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
A certain shorty made him hate him. All right, James, thoughts on Spider?
It's nice to hear. Spider-Man.
I know.
I don't really have an opinion on them myself.
I have both their album and mini album. I like them. I think they're good.
I've not seen or heard them. Don't know why. Just under my radar.
Yeah. Well, see, I think you might dig them. They do some. It's a little weird sometimes. You don't know like how hokey they're being. You know what I mean? With
That's one thing. I saw that and I'm like, it feels like that sleaze thing, kind of like.
Well, you know where they came from, so.
Yes, and that's what it is. I remember that now, and that's why I didn't subscribe to that. I'm like,
yeah, I can see you being like, nah, not my cup of tea.
I'm uptight that way, people. I don't like sleaze. I don't like depravity that way. I'm not
You're a very moral, ethical person.
It's not really that. I'm just.
I think so, because you don't go around backstabbing people. You don't.
Some people who
I'm not saying
that,
like fucking religious moral, but like just a person who says true to their word, and
I try to be consistent.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's true. I don't backstab. If I've got something to say about somebody, I say it right out front.
Yeah.
Make sure they see it. Let them know.
And you're willing to face them too after it's said.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Works out that nobody wants to face me. So.
Yeah. Well, this old internet shit.
Yeah. And I used to do that, and I finally just gave up because I realized there was nothing to it. But few people had it in for me because I had opinions about their bands, and I'm at MDF, and I'd post on my social media. I'd be like, I'm right here. Come talk to me if you want to have words with me. Come on. And nobody ever.
I never I guess as I got older, it's just so many things are subjective.
Yeah.
You cannot be upset. Someone doesn't like something. Someone doesn't dislike something. Now, we talked about this before. There's certain levels that I'll accept that. Now, you're going to sit here and tell me Slayer sucks. And I'm like, yeah, Slayer now, but you can't tell me Slayer from, 82 to whatever, 87, 88, that Slayer sucked.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Now, that's understandable, but I'm talking because obviously, some new release, that comes out, and maybe some people will love it, and your person is like, no, I don't like it. You can't really, you know what I mean? Get, fucking mad about it, is what I'm saying.
Normally what I run into is that people from bands that I am downing get mad at me, and I'm like going, hey, I'm not lying about you. I'm not, defaming you or slandering you. I'm not claiming that your mom's a whore, or, nothing like that. I'm just saying your fucking band sucks and I don't like it. That's fair game. And
they can turn around and say, well, your band sucks. And I don't like okay.
I know they do. I know they do. And
of course
I don't care. I don't want to be friends with them. I don't mind. So that's easy math. But, oh, God, what was I going to say about that? A few years ago, this is when I realized that kind of the new wave and the coming into the underground was really screwed up, because I talked about how I did not like blood incantation. I didn't even say anything that terrible about them. I'm just like, this is just overblown. All these kids who are into this now, they clearly haven't heard any older death metal, to realize this is not that,
It was like all
real.
The hipster metal kids found their band.
Yes.
That's what happened.
They did.
Yeah.
And some dude picked up on that on, I guess, Facebook, and he was trying to run around acting like I had committed a hate crime.
You didn't like a band.
And I mean, nobody gave a fuck, but he was just like, he's like, actually, like, posting on other boards, like reposting what I said, like I had said something really, inflammatory or offensive, which I hadn't. I just said at the height of the hype around that band, I dared to say this is just a bunch of bunk. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. But
yeah, I mean, and if you love it, good for you. You know, good for you. What is it?
I'm not going to be able to stop you.
That's what I mean by it's subjective. It's like, hey, if you liked it that much, no matter what I say, probably isn't going to change your mind.
Right, and generally it's a band that is already overblown in its popularity that I'm taking a swing at because I'm becoming aware of them because they're overrated. So there's nothing that I can say or do to stop it. What are you afraid of? Congratulations, you're actually in the majority rule on that one. You don't need to care about me.
Like shows like this, and other like shows who were like Joaba and or Mordant Red or whatever that goat metal show, Shredbeard, shows I associate. What I just see with these, we're just trying to put bands out there that we think you need to hear.
Yeah.
You don't gotta fucking do it, but this is why we're here. This is because we're finding these bands are fighting a big fucking machine that is trying to tell you, no, you need to listen to this and listen to this only. We're the gatekeepers. And it's funny when they call us gatekeeper, like, what are we gatekeeping here? We're like the most, I'm not going to say the most underground, but most of our stuff is more underground. No, shit. The gatekeeper.
You're making a great point.
Yeah, you bigger labels who have it in with the the bigger zines or the bigger websites and all that. Those are the gatekeepers.
Yeah, Decibel's a gatekeeper.
Total gatekeeper. Yeah, but they'll call us those gatekeeper metalheads, those old metal gatekeepers. No, like this show is like a big fucking thing. Come on.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
We're not gonna be able to stop your stupid flavor of the month. Don't worry. But we're
the resistance, damn it.
Yeah. Instead, we're going to play you stuff that we think is worth hearing. 2 points.
I think at this point, we've been around long enough to know kind of what real metal is. That's and that's what I feel.
If
I may
you
be
don't
wrong.
agree, you don't have to listen to us.
Yeah.
It's really easy. But I mean, I think we're preaching to the choir. If you're here, if you're checking this out,
Yeah, we already know this. Maybe some ding dong will stumble upon this and be like, bullshit. But most people here are obviously they wouldn't be here if they weren't already into what we do. So let's play the next band, Death Pulsation.
Yes, this is brand new. It's out on Caligari Records in Sweden, and they are pretty gnarly. Like I want to stop short of saying they remind me of Watain Rabid Death's Curse because they don't sound like Watain at all, despite being Swedish. You know how Swedes like to have about 3 different sounds, and they just stick with that for like all 3,000 of their bands. I'm noticing, and I'm not saying Watain did that, but they set a new sound that then a lot of people copied, that kind of thing. But I'm noticing that there's some bands coming out of Sweden now. I got another one on the list after this that are kind of going back to like the really raw sort of feral, unidentified sound.
By looking by the band's promo pic for this, I'm already like, I have a feeling I'm gonna like this.
Yeah,
I can already tell they got the right fucking attitude. As a certain J-Dog says, they check the marks with the look. Sometimes you just like, oh yeah, God, these guys know what's up. You can just tell.
Yeah, definitely. So this is new to me too. I've only just gotten acquainted with it. So check it out. It's Death Pulsation.
All right, let me get it set up.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That was real
Yeah.
fucking good. Yeah, for sure.
Real gritty, dirt under the fingernails, Black Death. I dig it.
Whoops, hold on. Let me get that out of there. All right. Yeah, man, that was no, Death Pulsation.
Mm-hmm.
James. New shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to track that down as soon as this is over. I need a copy of that. That was really, that's right up my alley. Old Black Death. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. It's good to see a revitalization of that sound coming back around.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's easy for everything to get formatted. I mean, there's some, I'm really a lot allied with so many bands from Sweden, but at the same time, they historically have a problem with formatting where one band breaks out and then a whole bunch of other bands come out that
kind of follow the suit. Yeah.
Or there'll even be existing bands that'll change their sound. Like suddenly everybody sounded like Entombed, and that's not how it actually, started with all those demos.
Nope.
It's one of the reasons I really liked early Grave, because they stayed really thick and heavy and didn't go the HM2 way, But let's see, Borum.
Oh. Yeah.
Borum. They're
Go ahead.
Finnish.
Yep.
Yeah, they're Finnish. They turned into Concrete Winds effectively, if that helps. So, if you haven't checked out Concrete Winds, you should. That's relatively new. That came out, I think.
Newer band. What? Two releases so far? Full lengths?
3. They got 3 now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's psychotic. That's also worth checking out.
Yeah, that Horror Days Fest had Concrete Winds, Omega Vortex.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cool shit down there in Mexico this last week, and the hells of them.
Yeah, Omega Vortex, are they normally a 3-piece? I thought they were a 4-piece. Okay.
Yeah, Falling Out. Well, no, I don't think Rob would mind saying the bass player had told Rob he wanted to concentrate on his family. He has a young child, so he wanted to be more, wanted to be a dad. So he says, they're cool. Him and the bass player, and I think, the drummer. They've been using fill-in drummers for everything because the original drummer quit to go join. I'm blanking. Thank Carl. Thank
Jimmy Borgir.
No, the German band. It sounds like Watchtower.
Oh shit!
They were death metal. I can't.
It sounds like Watchtower.
Yeah, I remember they turned into Total Tech. Though they tried to go.
Jeez.
Anyway, he joined that band,
okay.
And then him and the other guitarist, I guess, had a falling out. So yeah, he had all new guys, and he said it was kind of like a rush to get it all together, but they were able to get it, get the show. But he goes, obviously we wish we could have got a little more practice in,
Okay.
But yeah, that's what's going on.
Wow.
No, not Spastic Inc. or Bloated Science. It's a German band.
If you told me, I'd probably know.
You would know right away. And I'm seeing the album cover on my head.
Yeah.
Illusion? Nah, I mean, it was the name of the first one. It's a Nuclear Blast, old 90s.
Okay.
I think the dude just thought he was going to be able to do more by joining.
Sure. Any of those. Pretty much if you are a European band on Nuclear Blast, you have your own ecosystem. It's like, okay.
Yeah, Nuclear. Well, yeah, pretty much.
We'll put you on all these tour packages. Everyone will be fucking bored to death of you, but that's okay. You'll still get paid. You'll still be on Partisan. You'll be on the second stage on Wacken. Everyone will be fucking sick to death of you, like I said, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And it doesn't matter because everything you're playing, everyone's going to just be there just for the social event and be drunk as fuck. And they're like 6,000 people deep. They're not even able to see you on the stage. I don't like that scale. I mean, Europe has kept metal alive and healthy for a long, long time, and they deserve full points for that. But I can't imagine any of those people that say.
Yeah, it's. Here's, what from talking to some European people, it's a big, money-making scene, but the labels are hand and fist tied to all the promoters.
Oh, yeah. It's
so,
mobbed up.
Yeah, you have atrocity.
No.
I think it is atrocity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is atrocity.
God, I can't believe that's
Let me-
something that anybody gets paid to do anymore. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, they really haven't been awesome in a long time.
No, they weren't awesome after their first album, in my opinion. Hallucinations, if you haven't checked
That's
that
why I was saying illusions. I knew it was something.
Hallucinations.
Yes.
It's
See?
a great album. That
Yeah,
first
that album does
thing
rule. I have the
rules.
CD of that, and I did
Yeah.
have the vinyl, not anymore.
Yeah.
But yes, atrocities. See, they're so. I mean, not to be a dick, irrelevant. I couldn't even fucking remember the name.
Yeah, they haven't been relevant in forever.
Fucking Johnny on the spot, literally.
Yep.
Johnny. Yeah, he left to join Atrocity. So yeah, he's gonna get all the gigs, and all the blase.
Somehow, even though I can't imagine anyone paying to see them, anyone paying to book them, I don't get how that shit works. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
The mobbed up thing. You can just coast on that forever if you're over. It's so
Century
fucked up.
Media, Nuclear Blast. You get on that. You get on the touring ecosystem, the festival ecosystem over there.
Yep.
That's why Rob's kind of hated because they want him to sign to these, and he won't. And then they try to hit what is it? Hit him with, well, it'll be hard for you to do things if you don't. And he's like, well, kiss my ass, I'm not doing it. And he's still doing it. And they're mad because he still gets a tour with Perdition Temple, and still
Right.
The dude's a total fucking rebel rouser. I love it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah,
Very contrary.
Yeah, he's like, no, you're not gonna get me to fucking do these bullshit sellout crap just so I can play, your big fake shows and with all your friends. No.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Hey.
not what Black Death is about. Sorry, I was gonna
No,
go on
no.
a rant.
You're right. I was just thinking about attending shows, and I realized something just last week that I thought you would really appreciate.
Okay, let me hear.
Well, this is kind of a story time. This is back into our history again. That was really fun, by the way, doing the origin story show.
Oh yeah, man, we had a good time on that. That was
You
killer.
guys like that one so much. We appreciated that. But one thing I was thinking of is, okay, so all the shows we saw at the showcase back in the early 90s, did you ever use the bathroom at the showcase?
The pee?
To pee, yeah.
Yeah, to pee.
Okay.
I ain't gonna shit there. Hell no.
No. But okay, but so like if you imagine the showcase, you can picture where the bathroom was
Yes.
in the building. Okay, here's the thing that's insane. I don't know where the bathroom is in the showcase because I never once took a piss at the showcase. And
Oh, really? Did you have to? You held it?
Yeah, because here's how this worked, and you can back me up on this, although you didn't take part in this the way I did, because I was a couple of years younger than you, I was stupider and had more endurance for this type of shit.
I can just interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
In your teens and early 20s, you could hold piss and crap in for hours. Now, when you get older, it's like, holy fuck, I gotta go right now. Where's the fucking pisser? Where's the shitter? I don't know, but when you're younger, it's amazing how long you can hold that in.
And also in the 90s, we had no culture of drinking water. We did not have bottled water. We did not have the bottles of water. We didn't have the flasks or anything. Yeah, right here. Mm-hmm. We didn't do any of that in the 90s. You drank a Coke with your Wendy's double cheeseburger before you went to the show, and that was fucking it. That's the only liquid you might have had all day. And then
yeah.
I would go get there at like 6 in the evening for like 7:30 tours because it would be more of an Angel or Deicide. And we're talking 1991, so you didn't want to miss that shit. And the reason, it was general admission. There was no seats in this place. It was a club, just like open floor.
Yeah, you paid your $20 and you got in. Yeah,
$7.
Yeah, when I say $20, I'm thinking today's prices. They're charging that for local shows now.
I know, that's insane.
Get the fuck out of here!
Forget it.
$20.
We try so hard not to do that with Imprecation. We don't think it's reasonable.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
But the reason you'd still line up around the side of the building and try to get there early, so you'd be like in the first 5, 7, 10 people in line.
Yeah.
Is because as soon as the doors open, you would run to the front of the stage, you grab onto the barricade, and you would just stay there for the entire thing.
Yeah.
And Deicide actually made it easy in the early days because they would just do like fly-in shows and things like that, and they would just have like a local lineup. So it wasn't as bad because you weren't getting the living shit beat out of you the entire time.
Yeah.
But then you'd have a package like Sepultura, and they would have like like Demolition Hammer,
Obituary,
all this shit. Oh yeah. So you'd be up on the barricade for 4.5 hours. You couldn't leave because if you went to take a piss, if you went to get a drink of water, anything, you'd lose your spot. That was it. So you're hanging up on the barricade for 4.5 hours, getting the living shit beat out of you by 800 people behind you. You know, and
moshers love doing that shit, plowing into the people up against the barricades. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah, you're getting hit in the head by people. I did that too. I'd finally like break loose and get up on the back or something. But the thing that blew my mind is I was going, oh my God, I went to dozens and dozens of shows there, and I never ever went to the bathroom the entire time. I don't know where the bathroom is at the showcase. I don't know what it looks like. I have no fucking idea. And I could never do that now. I mean, and now I could probably get my spot back, but we're talking 91, man. I mean, it was packed in and people would not give way.
Paul's a giant fucking muscular from hard work type of guy, and then he can fall around just throwing people out of the way because he's a Sasquatch. Not fair.
I was a very skinny 16-year-old and in a room full of kids from the east side, and I wasn't about to start that kind of shit, you know? Yeah. But anyway. But yeah, that was just a funny revelation, realizing I'd never once took a piss at the showcase.
One time, Fruit had a seizure at the showcase.
Oh no!
Did I ever tell you that story? What he did to the restroom?
No, I didn't.
So when Fruit used to have full on seizures, he would get that seizure strength, right? And he just like turned into like stiff Hulk, dude, like he's all fucking tense. Well,
reactive, and
apparently it happened while he was getting ready to go into the restroom. Oh, no. So he put his arm on the door. And like people couldn't go through it because the door, I think, went like
swung out.
Yeah, right? He was like, and people were like, "Hey, dude, can I use the restroom?" And he's like, they're like, "All right, cool." And people on this side were like, "Hey, hey, hey!"
Oh no!
I think it was Matt or Link or somebody saw it. The old trick was, hey, dude, we used to tell him, tie your shoe, and then he would like, start fucking with his shoes. Yeah, sorry, Fruit, but that shit's funny.
I remember you said if you touch him, he would like punch you. He wouldn't even look.
Well, yeah, you never know what he's gonna do. One time, he had a seizure when he was a kid. And this is like when he was a kid, like me, like 15, at Ingram Mall.
Oh, I know this one, but tell it anyway.
Yeah, this is great. So, apparently, this dude, he has a seizure. He's coming out of it. He doesn't remember, anything because it's all blurry to him, right? And he sees this mall cops coming towards him, so he starts going this way. Well, they go that way. He goes this way, and they go that way. And he's like, what the fuck? And they come up to him, and they grab him, and they're like, hey, come with us. And he's like, oh, what? And he's like, he doesn't know what's going on. And they take him to, the security part, and he's up there, and they're telling him, hey, this kid and his family, and his kid's all scared. It's a little kid. They said you knocked his soda out of his head. And he's like, what? And it's like, yeah, this poor kid was walking, and he said you came by and just went, pow! Just knocked it out. And he was like, I didn't do that. And they're like, yeah, you did. They're not lying. You did, And he's like, oh my God, I had a seizure. And they were like, what? And he had to carry a card around.
Oh yeah.
That was would say, hey, he does have. This is the old days. You had to have shit like that. That said like, they were, and he apologized. Of course, Fruit would never do that normally, but
not to a kid.
No, he might do it to an asshat, but not to a poor little kid walking by him. Yeah. His seizure stories are crazy. Remember when He stood up in the back of the truck going down 35, coming back from an Austin show.
Oh, jeez, no.
You ever heard that one?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry we're talking about this, but this shit's funny as shit. So they went to Matt Link.
He seems okay now, everybody, just so you know.
Yeah, we wouldn't, he doesn't have seizures. He got that taken care of. But anyway, they were coming back from a show from Austin, so they're coming back to San Antonio on the freeway. So it's my it's Link Sorengul, Matt Hernandez, who was the original singer of Indignation. Mm-hmm. They were in the front. Matt had a little fucking Toyota truck.
I remember this.
Yeah, little Toyota, and Fruit was in the bed. So, they're coming back late at night. They're going like, 60, 70 miles down the road. And then Matt's driving, and he looks in his room. He goes, "Oh, what the fuck?" He says, Fruit's in the bed. And he's just walking around like, and they're like, "Oh my God." So he can't like just slam the brakes on, so he has like to slowly veer off and like pull over and like try not to knock him over, and they finally get out and tell him again, tie your shoe, and then put him in the front. They all just squeezed in tight and said, can't leave this dude in the bed anymore. You don't know, if he's gonna get up. I mean, can you imagine, dude? Fuck.
Yeah, just bailing out onto 35. That would have been the end. Man.
Yeah, so you got friends that have seizures. You gotta fucking keep an eye on them, man.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway.
Legendary, though. All the same.
Yeah. My friend Gabriel, his name's Gabriel. He pops in every once in a while.
Yeah.
He's a fucking legend in the San Antonio scene.
Hell yeah, he is. He absolutely is. He filmed so much of the footage that you see coming out of San Antonio from the 90s. That was all him.
Yep, Incantation.
Deicide, Angel.
He's the one that the G.G. Allen used for the video where the riot scene at that's at the DMZ. That's Fruit's fucking video.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So he's a legend.
Yeah,
he's a great guy too. On top of that,
definitely.
But oh boy, he gets into some fucking situations, man.
Hell yeah.
All right, what's next here, Jeff? Naked Whipper?
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that. And then, since everybody I'm guessing who's going to be on here is on here, I'm going to have a little contest after this song. But let's go ahead and
say that again. It broke up a little.
Now that everybody who is on for tonight is on, I am going to have a little contest. We're going to do a little drawing. I didn't tell you about this, but
I didn't know. Fuck no.
Yeah. So we'll play this song and then we'll come back and do a special drawing. But this is the new one from Naked Whipper. They are back after a very, very long hiatus.
Yes.
Really long hiatus, but they played with us at the Never Surrender Fest in Berlin, and it was awesome. And the new album is killer. It's part of that Sado Bizarro German death grind that was out in the early 90s. They had their own little thing going on, and it's kind of incredible. All those bands are back. You've got Blood. They're active. You've got Naked Whipper, and you've even got Sathagawa. So who knew?
Wow. Yeah, I need to get this Naked Whipper too, by the way, because I heard a couple of this, and it's just as good as the original days. So hell yeah, let's check it out.
Totally, let's do it.
There you go. New Nectar
Yeah.
Whipper. Not fucking good.
Short but sweet.
Yeah. Sometimes that's best. With a song like that, you don't need to excuse me, you don't need to make it like 5 minutes. Just fucking make it what it needs to be. Short and sweet. All right, so
Yeah.
what's this giveaway you got going on here? What are we doing?
I've talked about this before. I published a book, a comic book about it's basically a metal comic book featuring my cat. And I know that's might be hard to unpack, but
No.
if you're my friend on Facebook, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it's called
for sure.
Contents book. It actually, thanks if you bought one already. Thank you so much for supporting it. But I have just a couple of copies left, and I thought it'd be nice to maybe give one away here on the show. It comes with it's a real book. It's over 100 pages of my comic strip. Of there's Kerry King.
I'm gonna put you solo so we can see it better.
Yeah.
Here,
I'll just show it off a little bit.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's page after page of a comic book that I did online, and I decided to publish a commemorative edition after my cat died. So lots of cameos from different guys in metal bands that you've heard of. And, this is one of my favorite ones right there. It also comes with a little sticker sheet too. Put it on your water bottle that you should be drinking from instead of standing in line getting kidney stones at a show. So the way I figured I would do this and play another song. If you are interested in one, you can go ahead and just state in the chat here that you want one. I've got a little randomizer here. I'll put in your names, and we'll do a drawing after we play another song. I would recommend. Where are we on the list? Oh, Necroal. Let's do it. This is a band from Greece. If you guys are into Raven's Blood, which is like black thrash, also from Greece, you're gonna like this. It's even rawer and nastier and new to me. It's a new release too, so definitely something worth getting into.
All right, I'm getting it set up.
It does not sound Greek, I mean, nothing wrong with that. I like Verathron, I like Rotting Christ, but it doesn't sound anything like that. Everybody's, like I said, everybody's getting down.
Aaron, are you telling the truth? You ordered one and you didn't get it? Are you joking?
Really?
Yeah. Or are you joking around?
Aaron, you didn't get it? What the hell? I'll have to look into that, because if you didn't, I have a copy for you. Oh, you did.
Oh, Aaron, come on, man.
I try to be really good about sending stuff out when people pay for
stressing people out, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't
and you got a label, dude. We can do you that way. Where's my CD?
Right on.
I ordered it 5 minutes ago. All right, let's play this song.
All right. Excellent. Here we go. It's Necroal.
All right, there we go. So, if you want a copy of Jeff's book, you're on mute, Jeff. If you want a copy of Jeff's book, put your name in the chat to say, I want a copy. Jeff's going to do a drawing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your cat's surgery. That sucks. That's really tough. I don't know how people have kids and tolerate their kids being sick. I can't.
I know.
Barely tolerate my cat being sick. It's just, yeah, impossible.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Miss A, to hear that.
Yeah.
We'll
All right,
put you in.
I'll put you in. Yep. We can play another one. I'll get to that in a minute.
Sherry Screams wants one too. Sherry's cool.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put in a little. I got a little, like I said, I got a little raffle generator here, so I will put those in just a few minutes. So speak up if you want to be in the raffle. I'll send it to you.
That by the way, that Necroal was fucking killer.
No joke. I just heard about that, and yeah, it's fucking nuts. I mean, so many bands are coming out with really fearsome material right now. This is. I thought you guys would appreciate this. Nuclear War Now accidentally printed a cowboy hat.
Send it to Fraser.
Yeah, howdy, y'all. I mean, it doesn't have a top on it, but yeah, this was on the discard pile. So it's I did not make this mistake. This was apparently the vinyl output was a little too thin, but you get an idea of what the color vinyl looks like. It's cool red and black. So
looks fucking great though.
Yeah.
That's the Texas edition.
Yeah. So
yeah, a lot of people want a copy. You're going to have to go through the chat and make sure to get everybody entered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will. Do they do colored too? What was the question, Aaron?
I guess you mean colored vinyl. They do, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they just output it on whatever puck they want. They take all the colored BBs and just grind them up into the Play-Doh Fun Factory and then put out whatever color they want. It's getting weird too because I remember 15,000 in care. My God. Yeah, good luck.
Jeez.
Sincerely. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, so all I was going to say is I remember back when we put out the fourth Aversifera album, which turned out to be the final one. And no, it's not. It's colored, Aaron. It's red and black, and then black. Red smoke and black. And all I was going to say was back in the day, 15 years ago or whatever, I told the label that we wanted a black vinyl with just white, just like not white stripes, but just sort of like a white sunburst in it. We want it to be black with white. Because there was white vinyl with black sunbursts in it. We went, oh no, we want a black one with a white sunburst. Do something that nobody's done before. And they're like, well, you can't do that. We can't make that work. It won't, the black will overtake it, blah, blah. And that was true for a long time. And now finally I've seen that. I've seen a black vinyl with a white sunburst in it or white streaks in it, finally. I'm pissed because that's what I wanted back in the day.
Yeah. That would look
Anyway.
awesome.
Yeah, they've finally refined the technology enough. $6 million LP, whatever. We have the technology. We can make it. But,
There you go. You can $6 million man that shit. We got the technology.
Yes.
Well, this is going to be fun because this is two of my favorite bands combined: Grave and Heresy. Grave Heresy. Want to jam them?
Yeah. This is another band from Sweden, and you won't believe it when you hear it. This absolutely does not sound Swedish.
I actually heard this one, so.
This is from 2024, something I overlooked, and I'm guessing most of you overlooked it too. So let's hear it together and see what the big deal is. The drums are insane on it, so you're going to like it.
We got it. Do. Hexa, Casio, Hexo, Katana, Hexaphilic. There you go, Johnny. Have fun with that. I ain't damn Fraser. All right. Now you're back, Jeff.
Yep.
All right.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that is I forgot who made the comment. This new blasphemy rules. Well, if you're gonna do blasphemy, do it fucking right.
Yeah.
And they're doing it fucking right. It sounded fucking good, man.
You know, I don't mind that at all. I mean, think about it though. That song had riffs. That's important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blasphemy clones out there that don't actually have any riffs, and I don't like that. You know, blasphemy had riffs, and
Fuck yeah, they did.
Yeah.
A lot of people, just because they get the blasphemy right, power chords for like 5 minutes, are called blasphemy clones. Like, you're kind of not really doing blasphemy a fucking service there by saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think I might have talked about this before, but I keep referencing Never Surrender in Berlin. It just keeps coming up. And I'd never gotten to see Blasphemy live ever, and they played right after we did. That was awesome, getting to open up for Blasphemy there, and
fuck yeah!
And it was incredible because I'm standing on the side of the stage watching them, and I'm going, "This is the kind of shit that you see portrayed in movies in the '80s when heavy metal was when the Satanic Panic was going on, and." Normally, you'd see a band up there, and you're going, no, metal bands don't really look like that. They don't look like Nuclear Beast with all that crap all over them. It's like, yeah, some of them do, and Blasphemy absolutely does. I mean, if I had been in a coma and woken up and just been shown that and didn't know what it was, I would have been blown away. But I'm just trying to imagine how that would look to an outsider. You know, it's like, oh my God, everything we knew about this music is true. Look at these guys. They got grenades all over them. They got bullets all over them. They've got sunglasses on, the whole thing. I mean, it was unreal. I mean, if you're in North America, not North America.
Yeah.
The U.S., you're kind of out of luck. They're never, ever going to play here. Certainly not the way things are going now.
No, they're not even letting Napalm Death in the country, and they're going to let Blasphemy.
I think not letting Napalm Death into the country is a good policy. But I don't want it to apply to everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Napalm Death has gotten to come over here way too many fucking times, in my opinion. But
is it even Napalm Death at this point? Come on.
Yeah, no original members.
Yeah.
I mean, Shane Embry's the oldest member. The last thing that they did that I really think, I mean, at the time I liked Harmony Corruption, but ultimately, Mentally Murdered was their finest moment. You know?
I can go with that. I go Mentally Murdered, Scum, and Enslavement, and I still like
Enslavement.
And I still like Harmony, but yeah, it's not their best, but it's all right.
Harmony Corruption.
But Barney's still Barney, so it kind of
Yeah, he was always the weak link in the chain.
It's just okay.
I would say that Harmony Corruption is the best second Terrorizer album. That's my deal on it, because Jesse Pintado had a whole lot to do with those riffs.
The riffing's great.
Yeah, the riffing's awesome.
Yeah, I'm never gonna fucking as Barney. Yeah, if Oscar's sung on Harmony Corruption, well, fuck, we have another great fucking album. Like no fucking
massive classic.
Yeah, no bones about it. It'd be fucking insanely awesome. But
Barney! Greenway! Barney! Greenway!
Now let me have an epileptic fit during the song.
Yeah, Baby Huey up there, man. Fuck.
Baby Huey.
Such a clod. Jesus. Yeah, From Enslavement to Obliteration is good. I like that one. I like Lee Dorian. I like Lee Dorian era Napalm.
Do you like Benediction, Jeff?
No, I think they're boring. I tried to like them. I don't think they're all that good. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're sort of static. I've seen them live. I just can't get into it.
Didn't Hod play with them at some South by Southwest? It was all packed and hot as fuck.
Yeah,
that's all I remember.
Yeah, I remember that. That. We played with them, and go on. Sorry.
No, I was like, yeah, we played with Benediction.
Yeah,
Barney wasn't in it though, right? It wasn't.
No. That's not been true for a long, long time. No, we played with them at Mass Destruction Fest in Atlanta, and just didn't care, I mean, nothing against the guys. I hear they're cool dudes, but everybody in the underground's a cool dude. That's not a qualifier for anything as far as music. So,
well, that's also the nice way of saying I don't like your band. Those are cool dudes.
Yeah, it's like saying an ugly chick has a great personality. You know.
I mean, she has a great personality.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Yeah. Too bad. She came straight from the dog pound, but she's a great.
Oh my god, that's like '80s right there. You know,
the dog.
You don't call ugly women dogs anymore. That was a big thing in the '80s.
The dog pound.
Yeah.
What about this one? Oh, she's a tub of lard. That's all '80s, dude.
Eternal. That's eternal. Well, Snoop Dogg made it impossible for you to refer to a woman as a dog anymore. You know.
Yeah.
She's a dog. What? She's your friend? I don't know. Anyway.
No, she's ugly as fuck. She's a dog. That's not nice. We're gonna get canceled.
Yes.
Killing the algorithm.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to do this drawing, or you need another song?
Yeah. Let me go ahead. I actually got the names here. Okay. Going once. Going twice.
Are you doing the wheel spin?
No, I'm doing a different one.
Okay.
It's called random.org.
Because they're going to be like, I can't see it. It's not real.
Right. It doesn't have any ads in it. Yeah. Random.org. It doesn't have any malware looking shit. It's just literally a site. Go ahead and hit the randomize button. And 1, 2. Misanthropy.
Wow. That is perfect.
Congratulations. Well, I hope this is something that will make your difficult situation with your sick cat a little bit better.
What's up, Richard? Yeah, this is great. I mean, what a better person to get it at this, what we just read earlier with your kitty. So,
yeah.
Okay, how would you like? No, you know what, Misanthropy, send me a message and I'll forward it to Jeff.
Send your name and your address, and I will get it out to you.
Yeah, send me that, and we'll I'll forward to Jeff, and he'll send it to you.
Yes. Thanks for playing, everybody. Thanks for being interested.
That is perfect. Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm
glad for that.
Give you some laughs. Those Phil and Soma ones, and they're always cracking me up.
Yeah, I in case you're wondering, my cat gives Phil Anselmo a hard time. David Vincent is a recurring character, and it's the most uncharitable portrayal of the guy, but at the same time completely fair and accurate. So there you go on that.
That's so funny, dude. Yeah, I think you'll get a big kick out at Miss A.
Yeah. Here, I'll say it real quick. Here's the sticker.
All right,
there's David Vincent in his cowboy hat right here. This is the sticker sheet. And there's 80s Kerry King. He's also a character.
80s Kerry King, so that's cool.
Kerry King, yes. And then there's let's see.
Hey, isn't that the guy with the Indian thing? What fucking band is that again?
Well, it's a riff on Black Braid. The character Snack. There's a character called Snack, and he's actually Snake from Boy Vibe, but he's actually a snake, and he's the friend of my cat. And at one point, he decides he wants to catch in on the indigenous metal craze, and so he starts his own indigenous metal band. So, anyway, you'll get the point. It's the most absurd thing I've done, and it was just purely out of love for my extremely hilarious cat. So, and also metal, of course. So, anyway, that's what's coming. Anyway,
that's great. That's fucking great.
I do have a couple of extra copies left. I'm only charging the price of postage for them. It's just a labor of love. So if anyone else is interested, just let me know.
I actually need to get one from you, dude.
All right. Yeah. We'll work that out. See my artwork online, maybe memes several times. Oh yeah, I actually.
Some of those went kind of viral, right? Some of those little.
Yes.
Stories.
Yes, and I actually do make my own metal memes. They're all on the Metal Enema Facebook page, and yes, some of them have gone. I love when they go around and then people I don't even know are posting them. That's my favorite thing. So, yeah.
I do stuff, but it's within a small select group of people because it's probably very controversial and not very nice. So I
Yeah.
keep it among my friends, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll start putting it out there. Seems like the more of a dick you are, the more popular everything is, right?
Yeah, well, I know you tend to just stick with nothing but concentration camp memes. So I can
Yes,
understand
yes, those are always funny.
So
Need a vacation? We got the spot. No, just kidding.
yeah, sending copies to Australia. Man, I feel bad about that because
That's
my
a
other-
little. That's a lot of postage right there
My-
nowadays.
my other band, Birth AD, has actually a fairly decent following in Australia. I think next to America, I've had the most orders from Australia, and I finally had to give up because I couldn't, in good conscience, keep charging postage that it costs to get the stuff there. It's just ridiculous, and it's also such a pain in the ass now to mail internationally. So I'm actually.
I'm gonna pipe in here.
Yeah.
Have you liked how they made the international, the customs thing so fucking big now that you have to use a big fucking thing? You can't. Remember in the old days you had the little
Yes.
and you could just send a little CD thing, but now you got to put it in this giant envelope, which goes way the fuck up.
Yes.
Oh, they just piss me off with their bullshit, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get back to like before planes were invented, which is probably a good thing because we've like lost the ability of flight clearly as a culture.
Yeah.
'Cause we can't fly planes anymore. We just keep crashing them into everything all of a sudden. I was just thinking that we're going to end up at a point where we're just going to be. If you have to be on the same continent to get anything to each other. Europeans will mail things to other Europeans. Americans will mail things to other Americans, and then Australia will get nothing from anybody because
They're so far away. Hey,
But-
you know
yeah.
it was sucked for Mel Gibson. Didn't he had that movie with the crazy pilot like come out recently, right? And then that's when all the planes started
Oh.
crashing, and I'm like,
I
dude,
don't
that
even
dude has
remember.
the worst luck. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, it was,
Wow.
and I think Mark Wahlberg, somebody
I
like that.
remember this. Yeah, and it just went away really fast.
Yeah, because what luck. Hey, I made a movie about this crazy
Yeah.
pilot's going to crash the plane, and all these planes are crashing in real life. Like, no one's going to see that today.
Yeah. But no, seriously, I was thinking of getting a limited run of our album reprinted in Australia, just so Australian fans.
You really
get it.
should, I'm sure.
I mean, either that or just I need to get everything's out of print, so I need to see about maybe doing a print run, and then I could send to an Australian distro. That
See,
would be the interesting thing.
talk to Damien Bloodstorm. He has that
Yeah.
new distro. See if he can help you out, or at least send you in the right direction. He's
Yeah.
a great guy, by the way. He's always very cool. Super,
Yeah.
like, it always seems like the older the underground person is, it always seems to be super fucking cool.
It's always the same bunch of guys, which I like.
Yeah.
We've always been able to count on each other, with few exceptions. But,
There's a few, yeah, but for the most part, it's always cool motherfuckers. Okay,
we should play
go
another
ahead.
song.
what is this? How you say this one?
Frenolith.
Frenolith.
And
I'm
this
get it
is
set
from
up.
this is from Denmark, and it's out on Dark Descent.
Oh shit!
And
okay.
I believe this is their second full length, maybe their third. I think it's their third, actually. They are mobbed up with a couple other bands, including another good band called Hyperdontia, also from Denmark.
I have a lot of their CDs. Yeah,
Right.
I didn't know
And
that.
Denmark has never had like a really big reputation for good death metal. Although, if you missed it way back in the day, there was a band called Dominus, and they had an album called View to the Dim, which is just mind-fuckingly good. It's one of my favorites of the era. And they turned into Volbeat, of all things.
Oh
but
wow!
View to the Dim is a fucking great album. If you haven't heard it, it's by the band Dominus. Maybe we should play that too, just to show people what we're talking about. What time is it? We've got
11 on the
11.
dot.
Yeah, we can do 30 more minutes if you're up for it.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, and
Okay.
I'm trying to get this song queued up to the second song, so
Alrighty.
we don't have to. We'll start. I don't know if it's an intro or not, but I don't want to, have a 2-minute intro. Let's just get
Thank you,
into it.
Johnny. Yeah, let's get
Johnny
to the end of it.
fucking is the most non-poserous person I think I know.
Oh, I know.
Fucking Johnny knows
He's
a lot of shit.
encyclopedic.
Yep.
Him and Matt Hefner. You guys fucking know everything. It's unbelievable.
Pissgrave got a new one out.
Yeah, they do too.
Yep. All right. Let's see if this queued up. I'm gonna add it. It's spinning. Let's see.
There it goes.
Well, let's see here. There we go. That was pretty good too. Yeah, a bunch of killer shit today, man.
Thank you. Yeah, hope everybody's enjoying it. Yes, from Denmark. So, great stuff. Like I was saying, one of those bands that they're out there. They got a name, but there's nothing trendy or cute about anything they're doing. None of those bands. I mean, they're all getting some press. I think they're all getting some interest, but no hype. And I think that's perfectly fine because that means they're doing the right thing. These bands are not supposed to be hypey or gimmicky.
It's supposed to be real fucking underground music, yeah.
Like, okay, when Deicide first hit, it was a phenomenon. It was like a reason to really get excited. It was not a mystery why everybody just got so insane about it, myself included.
Let me interject, though.
Yeah.
It was what the hell am I? It's a different world back then.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, look at the packages that used to go out. The bands getting signed, Deicide, Morbid Angel, Obituary, Sadist. This was all really fucking real metal, Incantation, Agoraphobia. Yeah, and it was killer. There's a lot of fucking fake shit going on now.
That's the problem. That's what I was.
And these guys weren't fake back then. These were, real fucking bands with, real metal fucking people.
Yeah.
And now, not cut from the same cloth. Do a lot of these bands? Some of these bands are for sure, like the shit we're playing. But this shit that's getting pumped by Decibel or shit like that.
I just can't figure out these bands that are like on some shit tier label. It's like their first release. It's basically like a glorified demo, there's nothing wrong with that, but they're just starting right out. And then like they've got this magical built-in fan base like overnight. I'm going, is this some kind of conspiracy? How could this band, this sort of generic OSDM band, just come out of nowhere, not have it's not like they're on Century Media or Nuclear Blast, and like suddenly just overnight they've got this fan base. Half of what it is that it's guys who are carpetbagging for punk and hardcore bands, and their punk and hardcore fan base followed them to whatever they're doing now. And I didn't used to understand that. I'm like, oh, I get it. They were in a band called, Fucking Shit. And the Fucking Shit fans came over and now are listening to their band,
Yep.
Vomit or whatever, And,
well, I have my theories too, how some of this works. And I learned a lot of this, like, over in the nerd fandom about, like, bots that are, paid by fucking labels or, or whatever. It's from big movies and all that. And their job all day is just posting shit and shit talking on people against their movie or whatever, And I'm pretty sure, bigger labels like Century Media and Nuclear Blast has this type of same thing. People who people are just hired to post all day about, how great these bands are, but they act like if they're normal bands, normal fans, they're not like associated, but they totally are on the payroll or somehow getting paid for like clicks or whatever. But,
right.
And it's just fake,
Yeah. No, I agree. That's happening also. But like I said, before they get into the industry level, some of these bands are coming out of nowhere and they just have like overnight fan bases. And I'm like, that can't be possible.
No, it can't be.
And it just comes down to, like, again, like I said, they're coming from some other scene and they created this new thing. And then like the 1,000 fans that they had in the old band just followed them to this new genre. And that's why you go to shows where a band like that is opening and you're standing going, who the fuck are all these people? I've never seen them before. I'm not going to see them again after this show. What the fuck is going on? That's what that's about.
Yeah. That's true. And they're usually the ones that mosh funny.
Yes.
I heard the term. I don't know if you might know it, but that crowd killing.
Oh, yeah. That's been
I didn't even know if that
while.
is. They told me in the chat one day. I was like, what the fuck's crowd killing? Because this is how unassociated I am to anything like that. And I thought, oh, that's what that crap is called. Those are the people.
Yeah.
That bring that garbage along with them. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just... We went through a version of that back in around 93 when Pantera was a big thing, in Texas in particular. And all these guys from like the starting lineup of every high school football team started coming to death metal shows because they heard they could get away with just knocking people out.
Yeah, for sure. So, they didn't care about the music at all or anything. It's like, we're going to fuck people up.
Always the metalheads versus the jocks. That is the law of nature, Yep. And I knew a couple of metalheads who played on the football teams, but they were not like that,
Me too. I had some jock metalhead friends who were cool as shit, but not going to say the rest of them were. Nope.
No. That was few and far between.
Yeah, that was the rarity for the most part.
And right. You're welcome, Misanthropy. Thank you for supporting us.
We got one more on your list.
Yeah, somebody mentioned it already. Yeah, you mentioned Corpus Opal. This is new, and we do have it on the list. This is my buddy, Ian Schwab. I shouldn't say formally, but he's of Perifragium, which is a band out of Seattle. And then he also had a band called Cerebral Rot. He changed up and kind of revamped what he's doing. And even though they're on a label that I'm not crazy about, which is $20 spin, talk about hype and hipsters.
Yeah.
Ian is the real deal, and I don't fault him at all for taking advantage of that that apparatus. So go for it. Yeah. This is brand new from them. It's Corpus Opal.
All right, let's check them out. Doo-doo. All right, I wanted to get to that before it jumped into the next jam.
Yeah,
but,
definitely. No, that's all right.
yeah, that was cool stuff, and that is cool that they got on $20 spin with that shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually the only other band I really liked was Ascended Dead on $20.
Yes. Yeah. I like them too.
So
I mean,
good. They'll at least have some good distribution, and they'll probably get a bunch of shows because they're one. It seems to be one of those labels that have the end.
yes, and they are going to be playing with us and in Imprecation. We're doing our album release show on. Oh, let me look. I believe it's in April. I think it's the 26th, April 26th in Houston.
Oh, they'll be in Houston for the show?
Yes. So
okay.
yes, it's us and Corpus Opal and Mephitic Corpse. Those are the two bands that are on tour, and they're coming on and opening for us. And
oh, okay. Fuck yeah. Wow, that's cool that worked out that way. Hell yeah.
Yeah, totally. So we're really looking forward to that, and we'll have, of course, the album on sale. The Imprecation album is on sale through Nuclear War Now already. So you can order it from them, and we will have copies soon. We do have our shirts available for the album. It's through us. Nuclear War Now does not have those. They're just an Imprecation exclusive.
So where would they get that if they wanted a shirt?
If you want to go to, I believe it's imprecation666.bandcamp.com, or just go to Bandcamp and type.
Oh, okay, you can get it through the Bandcamp.
Yeah,
at least.
type Imprecation. Right. Yeah. So, and yeah, I designed that shirt. I'm proud of it. So if you want one, go ahead and grab that, and we appreciate your support in advance.
Are CDs available yet? Because I thought I read that they were coming later.
No, or? those are actually they're on the way, but they have not. The pressing has not finished yet.
Okay.
Vinyl is out right now.
Well, most of these people love vinyl, it seems. Anyway, we're the only CD holdouts.
That's normal, especially Nuclear War Now always leads with vinyl. That's what they're.
Yeah, that's their thing.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Came out here, I will show it to you.
Oh yeah.
This earlier, actually, I had a limited edition. Sorry, this is not good podcasting. Me
showing everybody. Oh, don't worry, your crack did not get exposed. No. So no, you were fine. All right,
so this is it.
I'm gonna put your solo again so everybody can actually see it.
Oh man! All right, so this is the album. Art by the great Alex Shedrin out of Russia. He's really talented.
That's cool. It looks nice.
This is like custom made for us. Great gatefold commemorating Reuben. And,
wow, that's nice. Yes.
Yeah. So really great interior art. I'm very proud of this. Alex and I collaborated together to come up with this one. It's a nice raw, it's untreated paper, so it has that great parchment feel. Grimoire. Of course, lyric sheet, old logo, and
yes, that's a cool touch.
Just us. And then I'll show you the vinyl. I was already showing the cowboy hat version of it, but here is the.
Okay, yeah, that looks cool.
Let's see if I can. Yeah, you can see it's red smoke.
Yeah, I see it.
Semi-transparent. Yeah.
Oh, just slightly, not super transparent. But you can see through it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a little bit clearer when you have like a light shining through it, but I mean, still, it looks really, really great.
When you do it like that, you can see the red. Yeah.
Yeah. So it came out fantastically. Nuclear War Now never misses. They have great printers, and working with them is always a huge pleasure. I am proud because I handle all the art direction for all of my bands, including.
So you did the layout and.
Yeah, I did the layout. I'm great with the concepts, but I am a retard when it comes to measurements. So I never know.
How the.
I never know if everything is like in for all the crop lines and everything. I can never get those lined up quite right. So. The resident layout guy at Nuclear War Now, Dan Freed, he helped me with that, and so I basically put everything where I wanted it, and he made sure the margins were tight, and he did some fixes and things like that. So anyway, hey, thanks for joining us, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
We're going to stop soon anyway, so
we're just. I think
Just
I'll
gotta-
play some songs on the way out that I liked. Newer
Yeah.
stuff. I'm not going to say newer stuff, but the stuff I picked up, it's the short little playlist. And other than that, I'm pretty much done being on screen. This was a go.
Yeah. All right.
As usual, a good show, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, lots of fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I say this every time, but having a live audience here and knowing that we're actually like communicating in real time to somebody really livens it up, and we appreciate you taking a Friday night to hang out with us.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Oh, and for all us who didn't attend Hell's Heroes, at least we got something to do tonight.
Yep.
Having absolute withdrawals. Fuck.
Yeah. That's the one thing I wish I could have seen. You know,
Yeah.
everything else I've seen at least once, and but yeah, I'm not even going to get to see them at not Hell's Heroes, at Steelfest, because Imprecation is playing Steelfest in Finland. We're going to be flown in the morning that we're playing. Absu will have played the night before, so I will get to see Prescriptor and say hello, but we're not going to get to see their set, so that's a shame. But that's touring for you. But,
yeah, that's the way it can happen that way. Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to pay for those 3 nights of the fest in the hotel room for you.
Well, it's not even that. It's just we're going to be playing a show in Germany the night before. As part of our tour, because we've got the tour coming up in May.
That's right.
Yeah.
Talk about that real quick.
Okay.
We didn't even talk about that. Let's hear about
this.
Yeah.
10 dates in May with Imprecation and Baksaksaksa. If you haven't checked them out, holy shit, you got to.
Yeah, we play them on our show here. They're fucking great.
Yeah. The most of Baksaksaksa is backing Naked Whipper too, so that's the same group of guys. But we're going to be playing 10 dates with them in Europe. It's going to be Poland, Czech Republic, Germany, Italy. We're going to be doing a smaller fest. We're headlining, though. That's going to be excellent. It's going to be us, and Hellwitch is the other headliner. So that's
shit. Fucking
really cool.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be in Como, Italy. That's going to be awesome. That's like a resort town. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we'll play Steelfest. Jesus, I'm trying to think of all the dates that we're playing. Let me just type it into the computer that I'm on, and
use that thing, Google.
Yes. Remember, that was just one of many search engines you used to be able to select.
You used to have a lot of choices back in the day compared to now.
Okay, so let's take a look really quick in case you happen to be traveling, or if you're in Europe. Yeah. So we are playing. Oh man, let's see. I'm trying to get it to show me in a larger format here, or I will wear my readers and look. Okay, yes, we're playing.
I given up on the glasses thing. I'm like, hey, I hate playing contacts, so
yeah,
I'll do it, but not for the show all the time. Anyway, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're playing Gertstride, Germany. We're playing Como, Italy. Then we are playing. Oh, I don't know what that is. CH. I don't even know what country that is. Oh no! Oh, sorry. That's Switzerland. Liestal, Switzerland. Excuse me. I CH. I forget that's what it is. That's for Europe. Vienna, Austria. Looking forward to that. Wow. Prague, the Czech Republic. Katowice, Poland, and then Erfurt, Germany. Namur, Belgium, and then Hyvinka, of course, at Steelfest. Close to that. So it's not a lot of the main cities, but that's actually okay, because in my experience, having done this before, it's a hell of a lot easier to actually get it going in the smaller cities, because there's always a place to put your van, and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get from point A to point B, and there's not traffic jams, all that kind of stuff. So we are really looking forward to that, and that will be the first actual tour of Europe for Imprecation.
And I also hear the scenes are always well, at least people I talk to, the smaller cities and the more eastern areas, it's a little more like the old days, and they're hungrier, and it's not so much what's going on the other side of Europe. It's like more underground, more real.
Totally. I mean, I have an ambition of going over to play Eastern Europe only, which was something the Versapiro was effectively supposed to do with Borderoth back in 2008, and then the tour fell apart. But we were going to play like Serbia and Croatia and Slovenia and Poland and Belarus and all these places. It was going to be fucking, and those shows would have been really good.
Oh fuck yeah!
So,
oh fuck yeah! That's where they're at. They're still like kind of real with the underground and the black metal and like real shit.
Yeah. So that would have been insane. But anyway, hopefully we can do more of that. But this is definitely the big maiden voyage. Let's see. I'll be back on here talking about this as it gets closer. Imprecation is direct support for Beharit in Houston this fall. That's going to be amazing. And then we are also playing the Setembro Negro Festival down in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The lineup has not been announced yet, but they always put on an insane bunch of bands. They've had Sadus and Immolation down there. I'm trying to think of the lineups they've had, but it's always some headliner where you go, ooh, that's going to be great. Seeing that in a setting like Brazil where the fans are really, really crazy. I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, we've got a lot going on. Trenchant is working on the new album still. We actually have more songs in the can. We are closing in on it, and you're really going to like what you hear. We did not want to rush it. You saw an Anniversary shirt tonight. Sweet. Fuck yeah.
Cool.
That's amazing because we haven't printed any in about 7 or 8 years. So anybody who's got one, it's an original. But Trenchant is closing in on that material. Like I said, we don't like to rush anything. So we've taken our time with it, but we're really happy with it. And I think you guys, if you follow us, you're going to be happy with the results. We will not have a sophomore slump album, I'm pleased to say. So that's great.
That's exactly what we're doing too. We're not rushing our album. We're taking our time.
Yeah, I think these days, people don't forget it's not like, oh, well, you got to get back out on the road and all that stuff. It's not like that anymore. So, yeah, supporting Beharit, I never thought that would happen. Never in a million years. Who knew any of this?
Who even thought Beharit was going to be playing in Houston, Texas?
Yeah,
in 2000. Fucking
ever. But then in 2025, really? I mean,
and you get to play it.
Bizarre.
The Houston show is still the best show in the U.S. It's the most stacked show. I mean, wow, that's a fucking lineup. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's probably going to be like a current era career highlight for me. I mean, actually getting to open for Dismember in San Antonio was a big deal.
That's pretty good.
I really didn't. I never thought I'd get to do that, and I liked Dismember a lot back when, so that was really cool too. But I think Beharit's going to probably eclipse it because that's ultra fucking rare.
If I get to open for Necroal, I think I would be like, I'm good. I'm good. That would be the final icing on the cake. That's gonna be a tough one to get, but if it happens, I would be like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, you can go walk into the ocean after that, But anyway, thank you, everybody. Thank you, of course, Carl, for letting me co-host. I always appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Always a good show with you.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
See you later, Jeff.
Let's throw to your last song. What do we have?
I'm going to just play some random stuff from the playlist.
Cool.
So we'll just jam some songs, and if you guys want to hang out. If not, that's cool, too. But we're out of here on screen, but we'll have some jams coming through, a couple of them. All right, thanks everyone.
Night, everybody.
Let's go. Shot and chill, stabbed and backed and played the battle. What is light without